Hi, this is Alex Webster from Cannibal Corpse. You are watching Reality Check TV.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've had him back. We got Mr. Alex Webster of Cannibal Corpse. Man, Alex, it's so good to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, last time we had you on Reality Check TV was at NAMM 2007, I was talking to you, and the drunken girls from the Iron Maidens interrupted us.
I do remember this actually in the Hilton, probably downstairs or something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it has been a while. Hard to believe that's 5 years ago now.
Last time you and me saw each other, you guys were headlining Slims, and I think the night ended up with you, me, and Steve DeGiorgio, and a couple guys crammed in a car heading somewhere. I got dropped off for the bus.
Oh, it's hard to remember. Hard to remember, but yeah, we had a lot of good shows at Slim's. Love to play that place.
Yeah. And tonight at the Fillmore, and I think the last time you played there was opening for the Misfits, Anthrax, and Life of Agony in '96.
Exactly. Yep. That's the only other time we played the Fillmore was that show in '96 with Misfits, Anthrax, Life of Agony, and yeah, here we are tonight.
Headlining.
16 years later, yeah, headlining. So
Headlining sold out.
yeah, it's definitely sold out too. I've been running into so many people on the street who didn't get tickets in time. So we'll make a point of trying to come back here next year, on our own tour. I mean, we're headlining the Summer Slaughter tour, so it's a lot bigger of a tour than we normally do. When we do a tour, it's not 10 bands. It's normally like 3, maybe 4 bands, and that's next time we come through the San Francisco area, it'll be with just probably 3 or 4 bands. That it's this kind of a big tour. Summer Slaughter is a tour that's developed, into a big thing quite independently of us over the past 5 years or so that they've been around. So to be able to headline it, it's put us into some rooms that are a bit bigger than what we would normally headline. Like I suspect when we come back next year to headline on our own, with a couple of other death metal bands, it'll probably be at Slim's again, which, we love that place anyway. To me, I'd rather play a place that's a little bit smaller because the audience is right near you while you're playing like Slim's. It's just everybody's like right in our face, and that's what I like the most.
Well, I think you guys could still sell this place on your own personally. I think, you guys have gotten so much bigger over the years. I mean, it's remarkable how successful you guys have been. You're really on parallel with Slayer for a band that never compromised, always stuck to their guns and did what they did. And you guys have gotten bigger and bigger, on your own terms. It's remarkable.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we definitely look up to bands like Iron Maiden or Slayer who've stuck to their own thing and have a very defined, identity. And then we've tried to be a band like that too, be very consistent and just keep going and do things our way. We've always wanted to, make the band more popular, but not by changing our music. We were just hoping that more people would change their tastes to like our kind of music, because we're not going to change for them. So the only way we'll get bigger is if people start liking this kind of music. They're going to have to change for us. We're not going to change for them, you know what I mean?
Early days years when I was getting really into extreme metal, and well, the early days, the very birthdays of thrash and all that stuff when it was first coming out in, like, 82, 83. I was people always told me, that stuff's never gonna last. That stuff just never gonna go anywhere because it's too heavy for the radio. No one's gonna play it. You gotta listen to 38 Special, man. I mean, that stuff will be around forever, man.
Yeah.
And look where bands like that are. They're playing county fairs now, and you guys are probably gonna be going on forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll go as long as we can, and definitely, you're right. A lot of people didn't see death, thrash, or black metal, any of the really, all of that stuff, all the original forms of extreme metal that came out in the early '80s. Yeah, death, thrash, and black. Nobody thought that stuff would last until 2012 and beyond.
Yeah.
So we're happily surprised by that. I mean, we always just wanted to do it, but nobody could have predicted it. Like, if you would have told me back then, oh, you're going to be 42 years old and headlining the Fillmore playing death metal, yeah, that would have blown my mind for sure. So, yeah, we're pleasantly surprised to see how long it's gone, and I don't see any end in sight.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are coming on your 25th anniversary this next year, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah, 2013 will be our 25th anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
It's amazing. Yeah, you guys rose to the top of the death metal heap, and it just, well, it's a crime. Anybody who sees Cannibal Corpse live, you're in for a show. I mean, you guys are just so damn good at what you do,
Well, thanks. Yeah, we make a point of practicing together all the time, and we've toured a whole lot, so even when we're home, we're practicing like 4 days a week together, and then when we tour a whole lot. Like tonight is the 30th show of this tour, but just 10 days before this tour, we had just done 33 shows in Europe within the space of just a little over a month. So, pretty well-oiled machine at this point. We got the set down, and we'll just bulldoze through it, and I think you can tell when bands play a lot. Their live set is so tight. Like all the bands on this tour, everybody's just been playing so much. All the bands are so tight right now. There's no, I mean, you can almost just play on autopilot when you practice that much, and when you do that many live shows, you can just get into it without having to think about what you're doing, and it just all happens.
But has every day just been complete chaos with this many bands playing every day?
The crew has been able to hold it together and keep things going pretty well. There's a good crew for Summer Slaughter, the tour manager Charlie, and then our tour manager Pete's really good with keeping us going. So the crew has been keeping it going. It could have been a very chaotic situation for sure, with this many bands playing venues that are really not meant for more than 3 or 4 bands. It's one thing when you have a whole bunch of bands like on Mayhem Fest, but then you're playing outdoors and there's all this space for everybody to set up. And it's quite a different thing when you've got this many bands and every show is indoor at a venue that has maybe 2 dressing rooms, 2 dressing rooms and like 1 toilet for 10 bands.
Oh, no.
Creates some situations. It's important for bands like us and some of the other death metal bands that are doing well, like Nile, I believe, did Ozfest once, if I'm not mistaken, and years back, Morbid Angel toured with Pantera. I think it's important for bands on our scene to occasionally go out and try and do some stuff to introduce ourselves to the mainstream metal audience, and I don't say mainstream in a derogatory way at all. I mean, if you're into the more popular kind of metal, that's fine. I love a lot of that stuff too, and I think that death metal, it's a killer form of metal, and I think even a metalhead who might not consider himself just a full-on death metal head could really get into death metal in addition to the other stuff he likes if he just had a chance to check it out. Yeah. And so by doing stuff like Mayhem, Ozfest, even this tour's kind of a variety package. It helps for us to get our music out there and maybe spread a little word about the death metal scene in general.